This section is actually solving division problems using a method. This method is the Big Seven or the forgiving method. So if this is not familiar to you, then you need to let me know so I can replace your assignment with the other way to divide. So I'm going to take you through this Big Seven method very quickly so you understand how to do this next section of the assignment. So I have made tic-tac-toes out here on the side, and I'm going to talk about those in just a second. For your other problems, you might want to make them. So for the next problem would be a 4. I suggest maybe stopping after this video and making your tic-tac-toes all the way through 2 to 12, and that might be helpful for the rest of this assignment. Okay, so let's get started. So in the Big Seven method or the forgiving method, you're not trying to do individual numbers. You're trying to look at the number as a whole and just take it down little by little the best you can. So your tic-tac-toes are the best tool that you can use. And let me show you why. So this top tic-tac-toe is everything times a 1. So this is times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, and so on, all the way to times 9. Well, we can also use the same tic-tac-toe and look at it as times 10. So all of these are times 10s. So and that's why I'm adding a 0 on the end, because anything times 10, we just add the 0 to. So let me explain how you're going to use this in just a second for your Big Seven or your forgiving method. Okay. So this would be times 10. This would be times 20. This would be times 30. So notice it's 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So in this problem, we only need to go to our tens. We actually don't need to think about it. Think about times 100. So I'm looking at, we're going to ignore the decimal until the very end. And so I'm looking at the number 570. 570 divided by 6. Well, I'm going to go over here because I'm in the hundreds. And my closest number to 570 without going over is 540. So let's think of how we got that number. Times 10, times 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So I'm going to type in 90 in my two boxes over here. Oops. And then I'm going to type in the 540 that I need to subtract from my 570. If the numbers are kind of off balanced, it's fine. I'm not worried about that. Okay, so 570 minus 540 is 30. So I'm going to type in 30 in these boxes. So now I'm going to go back to my tic-tac-toes and I'm going to do, I have 30 and I still need to find groups of 6. Well, this is perfect. It goes evenly into 30, which is times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. So that's what goes in my box here. And it's exactly 30, so we can type in 30, and we don't have a remainder in this problem. Okay, so then we come here at the end and we add up what we have. So we have 0, 9, 5, because I have 90 plus 5. Well, if you see that I have 3 digits here in the answer, and I have 3 digits up here on top. So my quotient will use all 3 digits with the place value in the correct place. It's very important to put your numbers back up there so you have the correct decimal place. And that is how you are going to use your forgiving method on these next slides. I want to point out something very quickly is on the next set of slides, I don't have boxes, I just have question marks. That makes it fairly simple for you. You can just click in the box and type your number. Be sure you're working on pencil and paper as well. It's probably going to be helpful to be as neat as you can.